I know what's running through your mind right now. You're sitting there, maybe in your favorite chair, maybe in your kitchen with a cup of something hot, and you are worried. You're worried about your kidneys. You're worried about your heart. You're worried about your blood pressure. Maybe you have already had a scare. Maybe you have a friend or a sister or a brother lying in a dialysis chair 3 days a week, watching the clock, watching the life drain out of them, one filter at a time. And every time you turn on the television, there is another doctor, another commercial, another warning about another symptom you didn't even know was a symptom. It makes you sicker just listening to it. It sells more pills, it sells more fear, and it leaves you no better off than when you started. I am 105 years old. I have lived through that age of worry myself, and I am here to tell you something nobody is selling. Prevention is cheaper than cure. What you drink tomorrow morning matters more than what your doctor prescribes next month. Don't think, act. Change your drinks now. And stay with me right to the very end of this video, because I am going to tell you about one single longevity food that has eased almost every suffering of my long, long life. My name is Nancy Jane. I would love to know yours. So before we go one step further, please do me a small favor and drop your name and your age in the comments down below. I read every single one. I want us to be friends. I want us to talk about getting old the right way, about staying strong, about helping each other live well into our 90s, our hundreds, and beyond. Let me tell you where I am sitting right now. I am in my own kitchen, my own house. I bought the groceries this morning, drove myself there and back, and I cooked my own breakfast on my own stove. I have no nurse. I have no nursing home. I have no children moving me around like a piece of furniture. I used to have weak kidneys and frequent nighttime urination for many years, one heart scare, 3 winters of pneumonia, and a hip surgery that the doctor swore would put me in a wheelchair for the rest of my days. I walked out of that hospital on my own 2 feet, and I am still walking today. So when I tell you what I am about to tell you, I am not reading out of a textbook. I am telling you what kept me here. Now let me tell you why kidneys have been on my mind for the last 40 years of my life. Around the time I turned 67, I started waking up 4, 5, 6 times every single night to use the bathroom. I was tired all day. My ankles were swelling. My fingers tingled. I went to the doctor and he told me my kidneys were getting weak. He said it was just age. He said there was nothing to do but watch and wait. Well, I watched, all right. I watched my sister Eleanor go on dialysis at 72 and never come off it. I watched my best friend Margaret slip away in a nursing home at 78 with tubes coming out of her arms. I watched my husband Frank, the love of my life, fade away in a hospital bed at 81 because his kidneys gave out before his heart did. I said no. I said not me. And these 5 drinks I'm about to give you, I wish to God I had known about them 40 years sooner. Drink number 1 is warm lemon water. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Nancy Jane, that is too simple. That cannot be the answer. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. Simple is exactly the answer. Complicated is what they sell you. Simple is what works. Here is what is happening inside your body while you sleep. You go 6, 7, 8 hours without a drop of water. Your kidneys are still working that whole time, filtering, cleaning, balancing, but with less and less fluid to work with. By the time you wake up, your urine is concentrated like syrup, and that is exactly where kidney stones get started. That is where bacteria multiply. That is where infections climb up into the kidneys and begin doing damage you won't feel for years. Warm lemon water fixes this in 3 powerful ways. First, it rehydrates you faster than cold water ever could. Cold water has to be warmed by your body before it gets absorbed. Warm water goes to work the moment it hits your stomach, and your kidneys get the fluid they have been crying out for all night long. Second, lemons are loaded with something called citrate. Citrate is what stops calcium in your urine from clumping together into stones. A study published in the Journal of Urology showed that lemon juice raises urinary citrate levels significantly. That means real, measurable protection against the stones that put my sister-in-law in the emergency room twice. Third, the vitamin C in fresh lemon juice is an antioxidant that protects the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys from damage. Here is exactly how I make it. Half a fresh lemon, and I mean fresh, not the bottled stuff full of preservatives. Squeeze it into a glass of warm water, not boiling, just comfortably warm, like bath water. Drink it slowly, on an empty stomach, before your coffee, before your toast, before anything else. 2 warnings, and these are not optional. Do not add sugar. Sugar damages the blood vessels feeding your kidneys, and it cancels every single benefit I just told you about. And do not use bottled lemon juice. The preservatives in it irritate kidneys that are already working hard. 1 glass every morning. That is all it takes. Your kidneys will know the difference by the end of the first week. Mine sure did. Drink number 2 is unsweetened cranberry juice. I want you to underline that word unsweetened 3 times in your mind, because the cranberry juice they sell at the grocery store, the one with the bright pictures and the smiling families on the label, that stuff is poison to your kidneys, worse than soda. I will explain why in a minute. Here is the problem that cranberry juice solves. After 60, urinary tract infections become one of the biggest silent threats to your kidney health. Most folks think a UTI is just an annoyance, a little burning, running to the bathroom every hour. But here is what nobody tells you. If a UTI is not treated, or if it keeps coming back, the bacteria climb up from your bladder into your kidneys. That is called pyelonephritis. That is the kind of infection that scars kidney tissue permanently. My neighbor Doris went through this. She had 3 UTIs in one winter, ignored them all, and by spring she was in the emergency room. She never got her kidney function fully back. Cranberries contain a special compound called proanthocyanidins. Say that 3 times fast. And what those compounds do is genuinely remarkable. They coat the lining of your urinary tract so that bacteria, especially the E. coli that cause most UTIs, cannot stick to the walls. The bacteria slide right out the next time you go to the bathroom. No sticking, no multiplying, no infection. And cranberries are naturally low in potassium, which matters because weakened kidneys cannot process potassium well. Cranberries give you the antioxidants without that risk. Now, how to prepare it correctly. Walk into any store and pick up a bottle of cranberry juice cocktail. Read the label. You will find anywhere from 28 to 36 grams of sugar in a single cup. That is as much sugar as a candy bar, and that sugar damages the very blood vessels feeding your kidneys. It cancels every benefit. Buy only pure, unsweetened cranberry juice. Yes, it tastes sharp. Yes, your face will pucker the first time. Dilute 1 part juice with 3 parts water. Squeeze in a little fresh lemon if you like. Drink 4 to 6 ounces 3 or 4 mornings a week. That is enough. Do not overdo it. Before I get to drink number 3, let me say something quick. If anything I am sharing with you today is making you nod your head, please do me a kindness. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It tells me there is another soul out there who wants to hear from an old woman who has been around the block a few times. And do not forget, leave your name and your age in the comments. I want to know who is listening tonight. I read every single one. I have made dear friends in those comments. Drink number 3 is green tea. It looks simple. It tastes light. But inside that little cup is some of the most powerful medicine the natural world has ever made. And it has been protecting kidneys in China and Japan for 2,000 years before any of our doctors got around to studying it. Green tea contains antioxidants called catechins, and the strongest of them is something called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. I had to write that one down to remember it. But here is what EGCG actually does inside your body. First, it fights chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the slow, invisible fire that burns away at your organs year after year. It is one of the biggest reasons kidneys decline in older folks. When your kidneys are inflamed, they cannot filter properly. They get tired, they get scarred. A study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences found that EGCG significantly lowered the markers of kidney inflammation in people who drank green tea regularly. Less fire, less damage, more years of good kidney function. Second, green tea lowers the oxalate levels in your urine. Oxalate is one of the main ingredients in the most common type of kidney stone. Less oxalate means less risk of those terrible stones that send grown men to their knees crying in the hospital. My brother had one once. He said it was worse than getting shot in the war. Third, green tea relaxes your blood vessels and helps lower blood pressure. And let me tell you, high blood pressure is the silent killer of kidneys. It and diabetes are the 2 biggest causes of kidney disease. Anything that brings down blood pressure naturally is doing your kidneys a tremendous favor. Now, how to prepare it? This part matters more than people realize. Most folks ruin green tea before they ever drink it. Do not pour boiling water on green tea. Boiling water destroys the catechins and turns the whole cup bitter. Heat your water to about 175 degrees Fahrenheit. That is just below boiling, when little bubbles start forming on the bottom of the pot. Pour it over the tea and let it steep for 2 or 3 minutes. No longer. Do not add sugar. I know I keep saying it. Sugar undoes everything. If you want flavor, squeeze in a little fresh lemon. Here is the secret. The vitamin C in lemon actually increases your body's absorption of the catechins by up to 6 times. 6 times. Free medicine. 1 or 2 cups every morning. If caffeine bothers you, decaf green tea still gives you most of the benefits. And now we come to drink number 4. This is the one I promised you back at the beginning, the one most people over 60 have been avoiding for completely the wrong reasons, the one that may be the most important drink on this entire list. Ginger tea. I can see the look on your face. You are thinking ginger. Isn't that just for an upset stomach? Isn't it too strong? That is exactly what I thought for the first 70 years of my life, and I was wrong, dead wrong. If I had known what ginger does for kidneys when I was 40 years old, my husband Frank might still be sitting next to me in this kitchen. Ginger contains 2 powerful compounds, gingerols and shogaols. These are not vitamins, these are not minerals, these are anti-inflammatory weapons, and they have a particular gift for reducing inflammation inside kidney tissue specifically. A study published in the Journal of Renal Failure found that ginger extract reduced markers of kidney damage and actually improved kidney function in people with early-stage kidney disease. The researchers said ginger protected the nephrons, those tiny little filtering units inside your kidneys, from oxidative stress. Here is why that matters so much after 60. By the time you reach my age, you have already lost a significant portion of your nephron function. You are born with about 1 million nephrons in each kidney. By 60, you have already lost about 1/3 of them. By 80, you have lost half. Anything that protects the ones you still have is pure gold. Ginger also helps your body manage blood sugar. High blood sugar damages kidney blood vessels just as fast as high blood pressure does. Ginger helps your cells respond to insulin more efficiently, keeping blood sugar steadier after meals. And ginger improves circulation. More blood flow to your kidneys means more oxygen, more nutrients, more healing. Cold hands and cold feet are a sign of poor circulation, and they are often the first quiet whisper that your kidneys are not getting enough either. How to make it correctly? Get a fresh piece of ginger root, not the powder, fresh. Slice or grate about a teaspoon's worth. Drop it into 2 cups of water. Bring it to a slow simmer for 10 full minutes. Strain it into a cup. Let it cool a little before you drink it. If you want a sweeter taste, add a small squeeze of fresh lemon and just the tiniest drizzle of raw honey. And remember that name, raw honey, because I am coming back to it at the very end of this video. Both the lemon and the raw honey add antioxidants without harming your kidneys. 1 cup every morning. If you have never had ginger before, start with half a teaspoon and work your way up. Some folks find it strong at first. After 1 week, you will crave it. Drink number 5, and the most important of them all, is plain water. I saved this one for last because most folks dismiss it. They want something fancy, something exotic, something that comes in a bottle with a label and a price tag. But the truth is, none of the 4 drinks I just told you about will work properly if you are not drinking enough plain water alongside them. Here is why. Your kidneys cannot remove anything from your body without water. Every toxin, every waste product, every excess mineral has to be dissolved in water before your kidneys can filter it out. If you are not drinking enough water, your kidneys are trying to clean a dirty kitchen with no sponge. They cannot do it. And here is the cruel trick of getting older. Your thirst signal weakens. By the time you actually feel thirsty, you have already been dehydrated for hours. Most folks over 60 are walking around in a state of mild dehydration every single day, and they do not know it. That is why their kidneys are slowly failing. That is why mine were failing at 67. I was not drinking water. I was drinking coffee, juice, tea, soda, everything but plain water. A study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that adults who drank more water had a significantly slower decline in kidney function over the years, and the protective effect was strongest in adults over 55. How to drink water correctly. If you have advanced kidney disease, talk to your doctor first, because too much fluid can be dangerous when kidneys cannot filter it out. But for most older folks, here is the rule. Start your morning with 8 to 12 ounces of plain water right after you wake up, before the coffee, before the phone, before anything else. Then sip steadily through the day. Do not gulp a quart at once. Room temperature is gentler on your stomach than ice cold. A slice of fresh lemon is just fine. Avoid those flavored water packets with chemicals and dyes. Many of them contain phosphate additives that are very hard on kidneys. Look at the color of your urine. It should be pale yellow, like straw. If it is dark, like apple juice, you need to drink more water right now. So there you have your 5 drinks: warm lemon water, unsweetened cranberry juice, green tea, ginger tea, plain water. 5 simple things you can start tomorrow morning. 5 things that have kept me alive and clear-headed and walking on my own 2 feet at 105 years old. But I would be lying to you if I let you go without telling you the most important part. The longevity food I promised you at the very beginning of this video. The one food I have eaten almost every single day of my long life. It is raw honey, real raw honey, the kind that comes from a beekeeper, not the squeezable bear at the supermarket. 1 small spoonful every morning, sometimes stirred into my tea, sometimes straight off the spoon. Raw honey carries living enzymes, antioxidants, and natural compounds that fight inflammation all through your body. It eased my arthritis when I was 70. It saved my throat through 20 winters of dry coughs. It kept my blood sugar steadier than the doctors could explain at my age. If you take only one thing away from this video, take this. Drink your water and eat your raw honey. Now I want to talk about the most important thing I have learned in 105 years of living, and it has nothing to do with food or drink at all. The body follows the soul. I have seen it 1,000 times. I have seen folks who ate clean, exercised every single day, took every supplement on the shelf, and they died at 65 of cancer, of heart attacks, of kidney failure. And I have seen folks who ate bread and butter their whole lives, never set foot in a gym, never read a single health book, and they made it to 95 years old, sharp as a tack, walking every day to the mailbox. The difference was never the food, the difference was the soul. If your spirit is broken, your body will follow. If you carry bitterness, your kidneys carry it too. If you carry fear, your heart carries it. If you carry shame, every cell in your body carries it. I have watched it happen with my own eyes. The hate kills you before the disease does. The disease is just the doorway the hate walks through. So here is what I want you to do. I want you to live by 3 simple principles. They have carried me through 2 world wars, through the loss of my husband, through the loss of children, through everything this hard world has thrown at me. Truthfulness, compassion, patience. Be truthful to yourself. Stop lying to yourself about what you want, what you fear, what you have done wrong, who you really are. Stop pretending. The lies you tell yourself eat away at you faster than any disease in any medical book. When you are honest with yourself, you finally have the freedom to change. You finally have peace. And peace is the medicine your kidneys, your heart, and your soul have been begging you for. Be compassionate to others, even the ones who have hurt you, especially the ones who have hurt you. Compassion is not weakness. Compassion is the strongest medicine I have ever known. When you forgive someone, you are not letting them off the hook. You are letting yourself off the hook. You are putting down a heavy bag you have been carrying for years. The moment I forgave my own mother, and she did not deserve it, was the moment my back stopped aching after 30 years of pain. Compassion for others is how you forget your own suffering. You stop staring at your own wounds long enough to help bandage somebody else's, and somewhere in there, your own wound quietly heals. Be patient with suffering. This is the hardest principle of the 3, but it is the most important. When pain comes, and it will come, do not fight it like an enemy. Sit with it, bear it. Patience in the face of suffering is how you wash away the bad karma of a lifetime. It is how you earn a better tomorrow, a better season, a better afterlife, whatever it is you believe in. The folks who rage against their pain die fastest. The folks who accept it and grow through it, those are the ones who walk out of the hospital still standing. Those are the ones who reach 90, 100, 105. Patience is not weakness. Patience is the deepest strength a human being can have. And one last thing, and I want you to hear me on this, because it may be the most important thing I say to you today. Help somebody else. I do not care if you cannot leave the house. I do not care if your hands shake too much to cook a meal. Pick up the telephone, call a friend who lives alone, send a text message to a grandchild who is struggling, write a letter, an actual letter, on real paper, in your own handwriting, to somebody who needs to know they are loved. There is no medicine in this world more powerful than feeling that you matter, that you are useful, that another human being is better off because you are still here on this earth. The day you stop helping people is the day your body starts to wind down. The day you start helping again is the day it starts to come back to life. So drink your warm lemon water, drink your cranberry juice, drink your green tea and your ginger tea, drink your water, eat your raw honey. Those are the things that will protect your kidneys, your heart, and your body. But more than any of that, be truthful, be compassionate, be patient, and reach out to somebody today before the sun goes down. That is how I made it to 105, and that is how you will make it too. Don't forget, leave your name and your age in the comments below. I want to meet you. I will be reading, and I will see you next week.